Hey, thanks for tuning in. My name's Cole. I'm just out here to try and make a few videos here on SolidWorks. Just an average user with a lot to learn on SolidWorks still. There's still a lot I don't know about it, but a lot I've learned either through formal training or going out there and finding ways to do things on my own. I'll show you a couple of really cool utilities to start that for any SolidWorks user who hasn't got a chance to use these, they're a great tool for keeping your SolidWorks up and running at its optimum capabilities. So we'll start off with taking a look at the SolidWorks Doctor. You'll find it under your Start menu. I'm running Windows 8.1 on this machine, which is my laptop for going around and doing stuff. Not nearly as performance oriented as my desktop sitting at work, but it does the job. So SolidWorks Doctor, if you go into your Start menu, it'll be right here, SolidWorks Rx 2015. For myself, I have it pinned to my taskbar. It shows it here pinned twice. One is a different item. We'll get into that a little bit later or in another video. But to start, we'll look at the SolidWorks Doctor. SolidWorks Doctor here, it started up that little pop-up window. It was gathering some information on the computer for filling in its little blanks. But the biggest thing in here that is probably the most useful and a really good thing to do on a regular basis is to go over to System Maintenance. The System Maintenance area is going to go through and it's just going to clean up your directories, fix problems, dump your temporary files that are related to SolidWorks, and basically help keep your computer neat and clean. So when you first come into it, this is what it'll look like, and after you set it up the first time, it'll maintain a couple of the settings if you have to change these locations. My computer's all set up to run SolidWorks in all the standard default file locations. It's just a lot simpler that way, unless you're on something with a network at your business or company where you pull lots of files from a central network in their specific locations, in which case you'll want to set this up on the server computer to clean up those locations. But on your individual machine, the default locations are best to stay with, and most likely what your machine's set up at if you haven't gone in and physically changed anything. Down here you'll see clean the temporary files in the SolidWorks data. I don't have any temporary file locations designated that are outside the standard locations, so I'm not going to check that box. But I will come down here and put a check in this box for run check disk for disk errors. This is just a good thing to do, and it does it really quick. I only have one hard drive in this computer, so I'll select my C drive. You can select up to 2 drives, but I haven't found any way to select more than 2 drives. So that's that. Windows defrag. This defragger here runs 10 times faster than, if not even faster than, the one that's actually built into Windows. So I highly recommend the use of that unless you're running SSDs. If you do the research out there, leave it up to you if you want to defrag your SSDs. Everything I've found on SSDs, it's best not to defrag them. Just the way they work and how read and writes work. Anyways, that's a whole nother video. This computer doesn't have an SSD. It's got a platter drive. It's typical laptop hard drive, so I will go ahead and defrag that on the same drive that I'm checking for disk errors. Once you have those all checked, you'll just come up here, hit Start Maintenance. It'll go through. It'll want to know if you want to do it now or if you want to set a start time or start date. Say you want to set it up to do this maintenance after you leave work and sometime in the evening when you're not using your computer. You can set that up so it doesn't slow anything down. That said, I'm not even going to speed this video up or cut anything out. I'll leave it in real time so you can see the amount of time that this doesn't take to run all these processes. So here we go. SolidWorks backup directory, one hasn't been established, didn't do a disk check for errors or a defragment on drive 2 because I didn't have a second drive to select. Other than that, that was it. It ran through all of those steps, including defragging the main hard drive. The reason I didn't have a SolidWorks backup directory is I just set up a new user account on this computer for doing my tidbits videos. So there's no backups. SolidWorks hasn't even been started on this user account, so it hasn't created its own backup directory. But the first time I open SolidWorks, it'll create one, and then the next time I run the maintenance, this will go through and it'll actually clean up that directory. So okay, we're done with that. That's the SolidWorks Doctor Maintenance Program. There's also a lot of other nice features in here. If you're having a repetitive problem with your SolidWorks doing a certain thing, you can record real-time video of your SolidWorks doing whatever it's doing. And there's ways to submit that for getting technical support and things like that, or if you have a company out there that supports your SolidWorks, that's who you would want to submit that to so that they could take a look at that and solve that problem for you. Troubleshooter, this is just going to be, a bunch of different things. Look through them. It'll give you some information, lots of help stuff that it can be difficult to find online just to search things that you might be able to find here. Diagnostics, this is going to be your system diagnostics. The information over here, the green checks, the red X, yellow X's. There should be, if I remember correctly, yep, there's a key down here at the bottom saying what those each things miss. Apparently this has a something about this computer is not one that they've got information on. Regardless, I know it runs SolidWorks halfway decently, but everything other than them not having diagnostic information on it, this computer works and does the job. And then you have your home where you get, it's just a home screen for the SolidWorks Doctor. So hope this works out well for you, something that you can give a test to. Quick simple video, something the system maintenance and the cleaning the directories works out great. I highly recommend it. It solves some issues for me. So there you go. Thanks for watching.